Gwyneth Paltrow, Ski Trial, Part 2. Gwyneth Paltrow finds herself in court accused of injuring a man. The litigation, which has been rumbling on for 7 years, of course, is her threat to her innate need for control. The questions that she will face will also threaten her need for control. But moreover, there are additional issues, because the coverage of the same will also potentially amount to challenge fuel based upon whether she has regard to its coverage. And already it has started. As reported by Paul Chavez in the Daily Mail, Jeffrey Dahmer's glasses. Gwyneth Paltrow gets roasted for her serial killer look on social media amid her ski trial. The 50-year-old actress wore the large glasses along with a cream-coloured knit sweater and tweed harem pants during the opening day of a trial in Utah over a 2016 ski collision involving a retired optometrist. Dahmer, also known as the Milwaukee Cannibal, was a serial killer and sex offender who killed and dismembered 17 men and boys between 1978 and 1991, and wore similar glasses in his 1991 mugshot. Gwyneth Paltrow was mocked on social media on Tuesday for wearing aviator-style reading glasses at her Utah ski trial that drew comparisons to killer Jeffrey Dahmer. Now remember, Gwyneth Paltrow holds herself out as a delightful lady who's an actress and now more of a business lady that has her wellness range where you can buy a candle that smells of her vag and shove certain eggs up your foo. But she holds herself out as a wellness guru, and therefore to be likened to a serial killer is challenge fuel indeed. It causes her threat to her sense of control. It causes a problem for her with regard to the facade that she operates of being this sort of spiritual, ethereal character that has people's wellness needs at heart. And therefore, for social media to lambast her in such a way amounts to a threat to control, assuming she's aware of it. Now, unlike Harry's wife, Gwyneth Paltrow is not necessarily someone who devours social media in the same way, but like many narcissists, she likes to know what's going on. Why? Well, the big advantage is, of course, that being talked about provides fuel. Whether it's good or bad, remember, love me, hate me, never ignore me. But in relation to Gwyneth Paltrow, she similarly operates a facade of being a decent person, and therefore a suggestion that she's not, both in terms of being somebody that would smash into somebody on a ski slope and then ski off, and then also the suggestion that she could be likened to a serial killer, even though, of course, nobody's saying she is one, is still a threat to control because it offends the facade that she operates. Jeffrey Dahmer's glasses, a commenter posted in response to a news article showing Gwyneth wearing the glasses. I like her serial killer vibe, another comment read. Dahmer, also known as the Milwaukee Cannibal, was a serial killer and sex offender who killed and dismembered 17 men and boys between 1978 and 1991. Jeffrey Dahmer meets Gwyneth Paltrow, another comment said. Gwyneth Paltrow is literally going for the hashtag Dahmer look at this ski accident trial. What the fuck? Not very on brand for @Goop, another commentator posted. A humorous post read, these are exactly the kind of 1980s aviator specs you should wear when being sued by a retired optometrist. Another Twitter user, @IPityTheFoos, compared her look to Ben Stiller's undercover outfit in the 2004 film Starsky and Hutch, stating, I can't be the only one who sees it. Again, ribbing her in that way is not something that she's going to appreciate. Twitter user, @TheDailyCrabby, added, Gwyneth Paltrow showed up for court wearing the most I'm an evil rich cunt glasses you're going to see. @Mrs2938 added, they're broadcasting the Gwyneth trial. How did I not know this? Those glasses. Paltrow and Terry Sanderson, the man suing her, sat across from each other in a Park City courtroom as their attorneys gave opening statements that provided strikingly different accounts of the crash. Both described their clients as victims and blamed the other for the collision at Deer Valley, one of the country's most upscale ski resorts. The two showed little emotion as attorneys questioned their credibility and version of events on the first day of the trial, which is expected to last 8 days. Sanderson's attorneys said that they planned to call Paltrow to the stand to testify on Friday, but they could do so earlier in the week depending on the other witnesses' availability. Paltrow shielded her face from photographers, nullification of threat to control, using a blue GP initialed notebook as she entered and exited the courtroom. Sanderson wore a grey suit and left halfway before witnesses began testifying. As is the case when you're famous and you're involved in something such as a courtroom and litigation, people are going to comment upon it. And the nature of the comments that she has received are ones that are going to threaten her sense of control, commenting upon her appearance and likening her to a serial killer. Of course, how will she deal with it? Well, she's not going to issue a statement decrying all of those people and saying they're awful human beings for saying as such. Instead, she will either mutter under her breath to those around her, saying that these people on social media are clowns. More likely, she will just dismiss it. The type of narcissist that she is, exhibiting a greater level of arrogance than, say, compared to Harry's wife, in terms of being more polished in the way that she does it, she's more likely just to dismiss it rather than let it get to her in the same way that such comments about Harry's wife would do. Remember, it's still a threat to control because it affects her facade. She doesn't brush it off in the way that a highly provocative narcissist would do so. Watch the video of the same name to understand more about that. That's not going to be her style. She will not like being compared. It will cause an ignition of fury, but she's not going to go batshit crazy and launching at people on social media. Instead, she will either complain about them to other people, privately, or more likely, just dismiss the individuals as cretinous and envious, that they want to be like her, and that she's come to expect such nonsense from people. After all, she's been in the fame game for a long time, and will have been well versed in the criticism that comes forward. It's all delicious, juicy fuel for her, of course, but ultimately it's still challenge fuel because of the way it affects her presentation to the world. Undoubtedly, there'll be more for us to learn about Gwyneth Paltrow, and we'll see if she continues to wear her Jeffrey Dahmer spectacles. I'm H.G. Tudor. Thank you for listening.